thank you very much for watching or listening. Liam Hartree here today with another episode of the Simply Inspired podcast. And today I'm joined by a very, very special guest, Horst Saiger. Am I saying that the right way? I hope I'm saying that the correct way. Anyway, this man is a regular competitor at the Northwest 200 motorbike race, the Isle of Man TT, the Ulster Grand Prix. Had excellent career in short circuit racing as well as public road courses. Competed in the Superbike World Series as a wildcard entry. Based in Liechtenstein in recent years. Also competed in the Northwest. Competed in the TT for the first time in 2013, in the Macau Grand Prix, and many more. It truly is an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks, Liam.
So, as I mentioned, you've achieved a lot, and the fun part is going to be how we condense it down into a short talk for everybody. But before we do, you announced your retirement last year. Can you share with us how you are enjoying retired life since that time, please?
All the years that you're racing and riding and doing your own team, and so many things are going on, and you're always searching for the next second to go faster and everything, or the next tenth of second to go faster. Your head is always full, and you're working on it since from every day, 7 days a week, all year long. And you always think, when it's over, I will enjoy life, you know. But when it's over, you think life is over because your life is over, because that was your life. That was not the work, not the work that somebody told you to do. That was the thing that you are after from every second. You're thinking about it. This corner, that bump. How can I go faster? Especially when you're doing the DT on the Isle of Man. So it's, yeah, when that's over, then it's really hard to accept it. You think your life is done. You tell yourself, I have a nice family, I have kids, everybody is healthy and well, and life is so good. I can do what I want, and but you can't do anymore what you want, because in my case it was a bad crash. But yeah, it was time. It was time to retire. It was. I'm not. I can't ride the bike like I want to, like I need to, for what I'm used to do, and because I'm, yeah, not exactly the same person that I was like before the crash, because I can't move my leg like I need, and then the other side as well. So it's getting it's getting a little bit hard to go really fast.
Absolutely. Yeah, it must be quite a transition for you. But do you think you can keep your hand into racing maybe in other ways, maybe not on the track itself, but perhaps you can be involved with the next generation coming through in some way?
I'm still on the track, because I'm an instructor, riding instructor for Yamaha Switzerland and the Yamaha Riding Days, and Yamaha Riding Academy. That's the right name. And yeah, this is really good to be on the bike for about 20 days a year. I'm riding a brand new R1 at the race circuit, at the best race circuits around Europe. This is one of the best things, that I still can do this. And on the other side, I organize fan trips to Northwest 200, to Macau, to the Isle of Man, and so on. So I'm always there. And at the beginning, it was really hard to accept that I'm not riding anymore. That I just going around showing people and tell them what all is about. But you feel like you're not part anymore of this. It's hard to accept, but now I'm feeling better, and it's getting better with every day. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're still involved in the sport that you love to some degree. Honestly, that is good to hear
Cheers.
about that. Um, Also, talking about the crash itself, I don't really want to dwell on everything that happened there, but it's inspiring how you were attempting to come back after that quite soon. And I read somewhere that you were saying, when you were braking and everything, it wasn't the same, but you were trying to come back. And In that time after the crash, can you share with us your mindset for how you believed that you would come back racing and how you didn't give up after an experience like that, if that makes sense?
When no, they put me in a coma for a week after this last crash. I had a lot of very bad crashes during my career, and yeah, but there was never the question to come back or not come back. But this time was not the same because I had some head injuries and uh, most of the body was damaged, and they told me this time it's going to take longer. It's not like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks like it was when I broke my elbow, broke my shoulder or something. Then I was always back on the bike in the next 5 6 weeks. But this time it my body needed longer, and the biggest problem was there was an infection in my arm here. So they had to, I think about 3 months later, they had to remove everything. The bone wasn't healed. It was missing about 3 centimeters of the bone was missing, and that was not good because with this infection they put so many antibiotics in me. Siri is talking to me. Can you repeat it? She said. Uh, they put so many antibiotics in me, and I felt like this was really worse the feeling than after the crash. And it took me about 2 years till was I could move like I want to, and then was getting better and better, but it was so slow. The progress was so slow of getting better and better. And all the crashes before, it was like I said, 4 or 5 weeks on a complicated braking, or if when I was lucky and I could go to the Isle of Man, I go in this hyperbaric chamber, and it was about half the time everything was healed, broken bones and everything. This was there was never a question to stop. And I said many times when they asked me, when will you retire? I said, sorry, it's too late. I can't retire anymore. It's too late. I'm way over the point that I had to retire. Now I keep on riding. But this time yeah, it was really time to leave it.
Yeah. But when you look back on your career now, you have so much to be proud of. Now, it would be great to talk about every race, wouldn't it? But we'd be here until next week or something. So I think the way to condense this down a little bit is to talk about some of your personal favorite races. And I know it's a big question, but if we had to narrow it down to a few key moments that you remember the most fondly out of all of them, what would some of those be, please? Maybe if it's a handful, you know?
Yeah, for sure. One of the best moments for me was when I could get first time and the classic DD on the Isle of Man on the podium. On third place, I started with number 8, uh, and they gave me a better starting number because actually I had 16, but then my team boss Angus Greenall, he asked for a better starting number that I don't have some to pass so many guys in front of me because in the practice sessions I was third quickest. And so, yeah, I started with number 8 and I passed a lot of really good multiple DD winners in front of me. And, last one was then Gary Johnson and so many William Dunlop. And for sure, I had a really good bike. And it was, but this feeling, after you're riding the DD and this guy is just going so fast, you can't imagine how fast they're going. You think they are 10 times better riders than yourself, and then you have you pass 4 or 5 of these riders in your very first lap. That was just, I will never forget it. This was the best lap of my race, of my life. And then to go in this winners enclosure for the first time where only the first 3 bikes can go in. It was so good. It was really good. And this was for me, it was the best time. And the next 2 times I could start with number 1 in the superbike race. And this is just on the Isle of Man when you stay there. with start number one, going down Bray Hill. You know, all the people around the circuit waiting for starting the race, and you were the first to go, and there's nobody in front of you, nothing. You were all eyes are on you, and then the race starts. This is, you know, I get goosebumps right now when I talk about it. This was also a moment in my racing that was really good, and for sure all these 24-hour races, and when we had some problems and we fight it back, and it doesn't it's not about uh, the main thing is not about the position at the end. The main thing is what happened during the race, what everybody did. What, you know, one of my teammates, he crashed in the very first lap in Oschersleben, in his very first lap. He crashed and he was out for 20 minutes something, so we got the bike really, don't know, 30 minutes later or something. So we were last, completely last. This was World Championship endurance 24-hour race, and we raced the whole race. Only me and my other teammates, so only two riders. And Oschersleben is is tough. It's tough circuit. And at the end, we finished fourth. We finished fourth, so we were really really good. And this was just at 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, the race was still going for another 6 hours till 3 p.m. And the guy who crashed, he came back to the team boss and said, "Hey, I'm okay again. I can race." And he said, "No, no, it's all right. The other two, they doing their job. It's all right." And I thought, "No, please let him race." It's really hard. 24 hours only with two riders to do. It's tough. This is one of these moments where also good. And yeah, I don't know. So many. Or when Superbike World Championship, you know, most of the guys started with rain tires, and I had on the rear, I had intermediate, and then, you know, after the start, so everybody just went, and Valencia was not very grippy. It was really bad, and so I was completely lost. And but then, but in the at the middle of the race, it started to dry, and the rain tires they overheated. You know, they lost their parts, and you know, when you pass somebody whose rain tire is falling apart, it's going all this, and there was every bike I passed then back, and I went, I became ninth, and I passed all the field back. You know, all these. Uh, Famous world championship riders, and it's but it yeah, the result, it was something that everybody spoke about it, but nobody knew that we when we went there, we had our R1 in the back of our van, and I took it out 300 kilometers before Valencia, and I rode it on the normal road to there, and I learned to shift the other way, you know, racing shifting. First gear up, others down. This is how I went there, and I was going, don't know, on the highway with on the back wheel, big wheelie for kilometers, boom, 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 and shifting. Yeah, this is was crazy, really crazy times, and so much things around. Was, yeah, we were just working day and night that we can race. There was nothing really professional. We just came there. There was nobody looking after suspension or something. To come, I know the guy from Yamaha came and he made something on my dash, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I give you 10% more fuel." I go out, you know, in world in Superbike World Championship. I go out. I came back and he said, "Did you feel anything?" I said, "No." He said, "That's good." I say, "Why that's good?" He said, "Yeah, so they can do what they want. The bike is still going good." Yeah, it's yeah, so many crazy things happened. It's really hard to say. I won 6 times in Czech Republic on a road race, and this was, for me, that was one of the races I really loved. And it's but it's not the 6 trophies. It's it's the people who were there, and everything around. When you came there, everybody was on the same. Everybody had just a tent and one bike. That's it. Yeah, that's the thing that stays in your head, in your mind.
Absolutely incredible to hear the behind the scenes accounts of those. And it's one thing to watch the race, but it's another thing to hear your experiences firsthand. Thank you, because I knew that's a big question, with so many experiences, but it's good to narrow it down. Now, I'd like to touch on another aspect that people don't see, another aspect behind the scenes in a way, which is the mindset that it takes to do what you were doing for so many years, to stay calm under pressure, to concentrate for such long periods of time in certain races, things of that nature. How do you cultivate that inside yourself, the will to, well, as I've said, stay calm even when things are going so fast, and these types of invisible things, that people don't see from the outside looking in, if that makes sense.
It's you know when I did my first race, the first time I started, I knew that's it. I want to do it for the rest of my life. That was everything else was not important anymore, and it stays there. For so many riders these days, is just he wants to prepare himself as for the best, and then all the family has to move to Spain, and they're working on his head, even if he's only 14 years old or anything. That was not in our case. We were working day and night. It was sometimes on the Northwest 200, to bring all the bikes there. Every screwdriver, every part from the bikes, everything, the building up the marquee and all, that you have everything there for starting in 3 classes, having 5 bikes with you, and every bike has to work. Every sticker has to be on the right place for every sponsor, for everything, and to manage all the flights, all the bookings, and everything. That everybody is there to help you and to get somehow the money that you can do it. So I bring people there. I brought 100 people with me, and they like on a racing holiday or something, and then to concentrate on the focus on the racing was like I put my helmet on, and then I looked. Northwest 200. I go down there, yeah, and then it's a sharp left-hand corner. Yeah, okay, okay. Now I go. This was my kind of concentration. My preparation of racing was 5 minutes before it started. I had no time before to prepare myself for something for racing, because all around me was all pretty much was my own team. Only in endurance, when I was riding with the Polyga team, I had a good life. I just went there, jumped on the bike, and was riding, was racing. Yeah, but on the other side, concentration is not the problem, because this is you always have. You look at the other riders, you look at your teammates, and you want to be faster. So that's your main goal in your life, and then you focus. You have all the concentration on it, and it's getting dangerous when you're not giving 100%. It's like one lap on the Isle of Man. I know first lap on the Superbike R1 Yamaha. I thought, I take it easy, just going around, and I was just riding 80%. I was not going fast at all. But then my body wasn't working as it should. So I went off the track, jumped jumped off the tarmac, and between the tarmac and the grass is about, I don't know, 20 centimeters, and it was about 240, 250 k's, and the bike went and jumped on it again. Otherwise, I would not be here. But this was just only because I was not riding as fast as I can. I was not pushing. I was not doing. I took it too easy. So to stay focused is the best way to give all, and this is the safest way to ride the bike.
Absolutely, yeah, it makes complete sense. But as I've mentioned, something that people don't see from the outside, and there's a bit of inspiration. There's some really good life lessons in what you said there as well. Now, you mentioned something else about the people coming with you to watch you race and everything. Um, How do you handle that? That people who love you and care for you probably also worry about you doing this sport as well, even though it's what you love to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. When we're talking, you smile about it, but you don't just smile here. You smile from inside, like your passion for the sport comes across.
Yeah.
So I know you love it. But did your loved ones worry about your safety at all? If you don't mind me asking, was that something that came?
Yeah, it's just, it was also, I mentioned Oschersleben 24 race. And this was the place where I met my wife, Tamara. She was always on racetrack with her father. He was racing himself, and he did a lot of filming. He did videos for the Swiss Championship and so on. And there was never, you know, there was never the question to race or not to race. For her, it was just if you're racing, do it the best way you can. That's it. That's it. And she, yeah, she pushed me when I was going. "Ah, I don't know, it's too much, and this is this and this that." And then she said, "You want it. You want to do it. You love it. Do it." It's just after the last crash when she was sitting beside my bed and I was in the coma, and the doctors told her, "We don't know if he can walk anymore. We don't know how his head is and everything. We need to wait till he wakes up." And yeah, that was, she said, that changed something in her, sitting there for 1 week with two little boys. One was 3 months old, the other one, Benjamin, was about 2 years, 2.5 years. That was, and you're sitting there 1 week waiting for your partner if he can still walk, if he knows what, if he can still talk. Nobody knows. Yeah, some said it's a bad thing that I can still talk. No, but yeah, it changed something in her. But to be honest, when I said I go back racing once more on the Isle of Man with this in the Classic DD, she said, "Good, good." She was looking forward to it. We do it, and but yeah, I couldn't do it at the end because the body wasn't working like I thought it will. Yeah, but that was never a problem. Just my mother. When I started racing, she was there the first one of my first races or something. It was like, and in the corner where she was sitting, a guy crashed and ripped his arm off, and he died there. So she never came back, and just, or it took about 10 years or something. Then she was sitting just on the start finish straight, and with a newspaper in front of her, was hiding sat behind the newspaper for the race, and then she only watched she only watched the prize giving. Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah, it was. But yeah, there was never a question from my family to, at the end, when my father died when I was 13, my brother died when I was 15, and for me, life was over because my brother was everything for me, big brother. And but then racing came in my life, and my life had sense again, and that was when I started to have a real life again. And I saw the whole world. I did so many races. I met so many guys. I can go wherever I want. I can go to New Zealand. I can go to England. I have everywhere. Not everywhere, but I have some second families there. I have Team Greenall in England. I have the Cole family in New Zealand, and so many friends everywhere. So many good people. Can't imagine, without racing there would have been nothing left, just some smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. Yeah, that was, yeah, yes, it's good. It's good.
Absolutely, it's incredible how it changed your life and everything that you said there. What a story! So a couple of other things. We also need to talk about the changes that you've seen in the sport over your years of involvement. Now, this is a very big question again, so sorry, but again, if we narrow it down a little bit to maybe one or two changes that you've seen that you like, that you think are positive. Maybe if there's one or two that you don't like so much, they can come into it. I try and keep things positive in
Yeah.
my, so maybe changes you like, but you will have seen the sport evolve and shift in new directions over your years. So it would be good to get just a little insight into that, please.
Yeah, I would say what I don't like is when I see that people, families, or something going there, and they want they tell their boys and girls they have the feeling everybody needs to become world championship. This is the goal, just numbers. You have to be 2 seconds faster. You need to be B3, B2, B1. You need to be in this year. We need to be here. Next year we need to be here and here and here and here. And otherwise, with 18, it's already too late. You need to be at the top in the world championship. This is that's not fun anymore. That's not what about racing, meeting friends, and loving the racing and everything what's part of it. It's not anymore. It's for me. Everything is too professional. Everything is getting too professional. It should be. I don't know. I don't know. It is. That's how the world is changing. Everything is about numbers, money, and more money. You know, this is that's not the best thing that happens. But so many young guys, riders, come to me and ask me, I want to do this, I want this, but I need this and need that and that and that, and I need sponsors. I say, that's not the way. It was never easier to get sponsor than now. This is not a sponsor. This is just people. They love what you're doing and they will help you. But you don't have to run after them, and you don't. You have to stop complaining. Just tell the world what you want to do. Now we have social media. It's so good. Go to the next newspaper in your small city. They will laugh to write down, ah, this young guy from our city, he wants to become a racer. And it's not about what you don't need to win every race. You just need to ride, and you just you just give in the newspaper exactly what you're doing. If you use old tires, you use old tires. This is people will love it and they will come, and then the first guy will come and say, hey, I give you a tire. It's good what you're doing. And just keep everything in a positive way. Just tell them that you love to race, that you love. Not everybody can become a world champion. It's crazy, but you can race with little money. Just set your own goals. This is what I want to tell the young guys. But it's hard because when they're 4 years old, they already sit on a bike, and the parents stay around and they push them, push, faster, faster, faster. Number one, number one, number one. This is one thing that I don't like about the sport when it's getting too professional. And yeah, and road racing is one of the last things where you can, on the best road race in the world, I think you can build your own bike at home in your garage. You go there and you can win if you, like Michael Dunlop almost does, or a lot of these things does, but it is just too dangerous and to tell somebody he should do it. If you have the feeling you need to do it, then do it. But otherwise, I will never tell anyone to do it, even if I know it's the best thing in the world. It's just, and it's also one thing that everybody told me now. Keep on going with your team. Take your other rider. Take young riders. No, I can't. I can't. If something happens and then I have to tell his mother or his girlfriend or somebody, uh, I can't. No, no, no. This is not the job for me. I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know what the question was. Things that they laugh and that they don't laugh. Yeah, this is just when it's getting too professional. That's what I don't like, and what I like is the way like road racing goes. That you can still, uh, it. The bikes today are so good from standard, really good. Just yeah. When I broke the lap record on the Northwest 200, the engine was at my engine builder for 3 months, but he didn't touch it. And they took it like it was completely standard. And they used the fuel from the fuel station. And when BBC came and asked me all these things, who did the engine, who did this? I say, nothing is standard. What race fuel? I say, from your fuel station there, 92 or 91, what was this? Is? And they didn't believe it. But this, yeah, it it still worked. I don't know why. It's just everything was good. Maybe it was good to have a little less power in the middle because you have less wheelie and no electronics are kicking in and just acceleration. It's when you have 200 horsepower, it makes no big difference if you have 210 horsepower or 192. This is just it's anyway almost too much to bring it on the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Ask me the next question. Yeah, just
No, it's great because there's many different things contained in what you said there, first of all, But what you said about enjoying the process and doing things for the love of doing it and everything about that is incredible, because that is a great lesson for life, I think. Whatever people are doing, whether they're racing, but whether they're doing something completely different, another sport, business, education, whatever it is, having that love to do it, I think is really, really powerful lesson what you shared there. So thank you very, very much. On the subject of that, if we flip that on its head for a moment, you were racing for the love and for the passion of that, but you get recognized a lot, like, you become famous from it and everything like that. But you're obviously a very humble person. How do you respond to, people wanting to talk to you, doing interviews, and people stopping you, say, "Oh, can I have a photo?" and all this type of thing? Because I know it's not the reason you started doing it, but is it a nice byproduct for you?
you know, I started to do these videos behind the scenes uh, at the back of the World Endurance, and it was just about because I hated to do these long texts to my girlfriend at this time, to my wife now, to Damara. So I sent her videos, and then we loaded them up to YouTube. That's how everything started, and. Yeah, for sure. Some people know me, but it's not. I have no problem with people people coming to my house and asking for a photo. For sure, sometimes it's really good that somebody knows you when you go in a. I don't know, on the Northwest 200. I was really busy and I went to Port Stewart and just Lee Johnston. I jumped in the back of his car and he dropped me off and I went in the pub and my friends were not there anymore. So I was there and I had no wallet with me, nothing. But I still found some people that knew me and I had 2 or 3 beers with them till my guys came back and they paid for it. That is one of the good things, but there is no, nah, this is not really a problem. I'm not a big star, not in racing and not like a football player or something, this is it's no problem at all. No problem at all. I'm really happy if somebody asks me something and this is mostly it's people from road racing. They're fans from the Isle of Man or somewhere and they are really into racing because they come to watch the race and they know everything. They know sector times and everything, what's happened here, what happened there, and they come there to watch the race and they're interested in racing. It's not like a MotoGP when they go there on first day with their friends and then they drink, watch the start of the race, and then they go home and they ask, "What did you see?" I don't know. We had 112 beers. That was it. you know, it's no problem at all. Not so famous as you think.
Well known and well respected, I think is a good way of looking at it. But say they did make a film about your life or something like that. Who would you want to play you in the film of your life? Say it did
I
happen.
did it. I did. For the
Yeah.
last 25 years, we had cameras every time on boards, everything. All these crashes I had on the Northwest 200, on the Isle of Man, in Macau, in New Zealand. I don't know where, everywhere around the world, on the World Endurance in Suzuka, everywhere. We had, I had, I have video stuff from everywhere. In every hospital I was, my wife was running into the hospital with the handy camera. Oh, what happened? What happened? And so we put, after my big crash, I put the movie together. It took me half a year every night after the boys are sleeping, like we do now. I went to the computer and I was there till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, working every night for 6 months. And I thought, it's good because I felt so bad because everything was over. But that was the worst thing, was to doing this movie when you see your own life passing by. It is just it, it's. I was every night. I was in tears for 2 or 3 hours. It's just all these moments, all these pictures, and so I put a movie together, which is about 2 hours, and I made 38 shows, 38 movie shows, where I all around in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, and Tissot sponsored it with watches. And so I gave a watch everywhere, and everybody gave money for this. And all this money we gave for a good reason, for charity. And it became over 24 and a half grand, 24,500 something, that we brought together for people who needed it, just everywhere on the location where the show was. That was really that was the really fun part, with driving around with my friend Rudy, who is not he's about, don't know, is he 70 something? If he doesn't see it, yeah. And my other friend Petey, they were helping me with racing, and now we were in the van driving through Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and doing our shows. That was really fun because you go there and you don't know what happens. One day we were in a big cinema with 350 people. Next day we were like in a garage, and it was only 30 people. But really, really good experience. But also 38 times at the end in tears. It is, and yeah, no, it was really good. Yeah, really good. It is still really good, because I have some shows coming now again. Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. Absolutely amazing to get your story out there in that way. I will definitely watch it, and
Yeah, but people ask me to have the movie and then or to put it on YouTube and or anywhere. It's me. It's my life. I don't want to have comments on it like, yeah, why are you doing this? It's crazy. You're going too fast. That must happen, and all this. I rather go to people that they book me. I come there. They want to see it. They want to see me. They want to hear my story, because, and so I I don't put it. I will not put it somewhere. I just show it for the people. It doesn't matter for me if it's two people or 400. It doesn't matter for me. I watch it with them, and this is like, I tell something about, I talk about my childhood and how I grew up and what was in my mind, and nobody was about racing, and how it all started, and then the movie starts with this and goes till the point that I wanted to go to the Isle of Man, and then we have a break, and I talk again what happened there, and so on and so on, and then comes from the point when I went to the Isle of Man, what happened till the end of my racing. So and then I talk again a little bit, and then we do like sitting together having a beer, and people ask me, and it was so many people watching it. They were not into racing or not with motorbikes or something, just but they knew me, and but then they said it was good. It was really good to see how many times you went down and you get up again and down and get up again. Hospital and podium, hospital podium. Yeah, sometimes I had to to cut out some hospitals because it would have been 3 times hospital, 1 time podium. But nah, it's really good. I can't thank enough my wife. She filmed everything with, this is like a special moment. There was on the Isle of Man, I was leading this privateers championship with a lot of points. It was just the very last race, senior DD, and I just had to finish the race. Doesn't matter if I become 10th or 20th. Uh, I would become the champion. And I started, and I crashed in the very first lap out of Gooseneck, and I was lying there, and people there, they knew me, and then they shouted, "Ah, Horst, doesn't matter. It's good that you are not hurt yourself. It's good that you here come have a beer with us." And I thought, no, I can't, because my biggest sponsor, Peter Hostetler, is at the paddock with my wife and everybody. So I jumped on my bike in Gooseneck and rode it down on the back roads, and then the whole coast road. I rode it back into the paddock. And when I came back in the paddock, my wife was shouting, "Come on, you can start again. Red flag." Can you believe it? We fixed the bike. I was first guy back in the paddock for the restart, because the other guys with red flag, they had to stop and wait for the marshals. I was before them back, ready to start. It's, such moments, and we have it. We have everything on video, and putting all this stuff together was really good. Or when I was lying in Macau in the hospital, and also the crash, everything is on camera, and it's a bit. It's a really good movie, but for me it's heartbreaking to watch it, because life was so it was so crazy. But when you do it, you don't think about it. You just think about next race, next race, next race. We need this, we need that, we need to become faster, faster. This. We need new helmet. We need this. We need letters. We need. You need every time you're just running around, and you don't have enough time to enjoy it. This is that's one of the things that I should have done before. Sit down, calm down, and enjoy it more. But it was always too much work, too much work. Come on, next race, next race, next race. Yeah, that's it. But the movie is good. One day you can watch it, but you need to learn German, because in the moment is everything is in German. But I saw that this AI thing can also talk in your language, and or in every language. Maybe one day we put it in English or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, that would be cool if you put it in English as well. But for now, it's wonderful that people are sharing your journey, and it shows how fondly you are remembered as a racer and everything as well. So I think that's absolutely awesome way to do it as well, taking it around to people who want to see it, making it like a special experience, like an intimate experience with your life, It's very cool. So I hope that that goes really well from here. We've talked about a lot, and I know it's late in your evening, later than my own. So we'll wrap this up soon. Before we do, you said about thanking your wife and thanking her for her help. Are there any other people that you would like to give a thank you to, if they're watching this anywhere, or maybe the list will be too long to include them all? But I just wondered if there was anyone else you'd like to mention who helped you along your journey before we close out.
This was also when I was doing this movie, with seeing all these guys and all this, and then you remember other guys, and there you want to thank everybody, but you can't, because it's just too many people, too many things. So I brought out my mother, because she bought my first letters, she bought my first helmet, she bought my first motorbike, because I didn't have anything, and it was hard work. She was working day and night, and yeah, and I was just doing silly things, just riding much too fast around and everything. And she hated it that I was riding motorbikes. She always wanted me to stop, because after my father and my brother died, it was just me and her. It was just there was nobody left anymore. And then, yeah, but she gave me these things. She gave me the letters. She gave me the helmet because I wanted to do it. She knew I will do it anyway. So she tried to make it a little bit more safe for me and that I'm not too crazy. But she just wanted me to stop it. But on the other side, she helped me to do it because she knew I love it. So this is for sure was the most important person. And when she died, I was on the Isle of Man. That was that would have been better if I would have been at home. But it is like it is. And so at the end, my mother and also I had a very good friend on Pirelli, Thomas Tirolf, who also helped me all my way along. Uh, together with Carsten, with our friend, and Thomas Tirolf, he had also cancer and died then exactly when I was in hospital in the coma in this week. And we had so much memories about the last 20 years that we did together and everything that we managed to do and going so many times to Macau and everywhere. I don't know how many times I was in Macau. Don't know, 11, 13 times or something, and everywhere around the world. Yeah, it was so many people that helped me so much, and we had such a good time together. This is the most important thing. It's also about the time that you spend together. That is the thing that you take away at the end. And now when you think backwards, it is the people when you had nothing, and they helped you, and we were we were just doing what we loved, and everybody gave what he had that we can do it. There was never a question that somebody got anything. No, everybody had to give something that he can come with me and work for me. This is, but it was such a good experience. And like I said, like Thomas, my mother, my wife, my son Thomas. I have an older son Thomas. Also, he helped a lot the last, don't know, 15 years or something. It's just, but there's so many people around me. Everybody helped me. I don't know I don't know how I did it. I think I gave them everybody who helped me. I gave one hair. That's why I look like this now.
Well, you know what they say, God only made so many beautiful heads, he had to cover the rest with hair, that's what they say, isn't it? But well, Horst, thank you so much for your time. First of all, I'd just like to tell you that it's a really great interview because there are many fun stories, many funny stories. There's some really good knowledge and some really good wisdom in what you shared as well, which I think will touch people and help people actually. It's a big part of why I do these, by the way. And also, this interview has been quite moving at times. So I would like to thank you for being so open about everything because really, hand on heart, I've been listening to this and times it's been like really quite moving. I've been like, wow. So I just want to thank you really for not just for taking the time for it and everything like that, but also for the way that you shared so much about your life. It's really a beautiful thing. So thank you for that.
I thank you to listen to me. I could, I could talk about, I don't know, the next 3 months about everything that we made. It's just so much in your head, and yeah. I hope that all the people or somebody who watch it and thinks, yeah, I want to do something that I love. It's not forget about the place, forget about the trophies, forget about everything. It's just about doing what you love, and it's not about money. It's not. It's just having some good friends and having a good time. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, that's what really matters. Absolutely. Yeah. I really like the perspective on that, what's really important in life. Well, honestly, I mean, personally, I've gained from everything you've shared, and I know that when people listen to this, they will as well. Yes, people will enjoy the entertainment, but more importantly, I really feel that people will get the meaning from what you shared. So thank you. I knew it would be good, but it's been even better than what I hoped for. So thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey,
You have
thank
a
you.
great evening, and best wishes to your family as well. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.